Okay, now that we can create a user, we should probably be able to retrieve it. So we want to say the created user can be retrieved. So, given that I have some user created, capture response for it. If thread exists, then when I do a retrieve, what will I retrieve? Well, when we go to retrieve something we just created, we won't be able to retrieve it by that location. We've got the location that the server told us this is where I created your user. You do a retrieve on it, and I should get that user back. So let's say, then the retrieve response status is 200. That's just 200. 200 is like the most common response put out there. It's okay, good to go. Here's something that you wanted, whatever. That's anytime you make a request to the browser, you're pretty much getting 200. So our response status is 200, and our response has an entity in it, which is a user. Now, again, this getEntity method is just like that post method that I mentioned earlier. A bunch of different things you can pass to it. I can pass client response. I think I can pass client response here. Wait. That'd be weird. Maybe I can't do that. But you can do a lot of things here. But one of the cool things about this is just by doing that, Jersey is now going to go and reach into the stream that's in the response and try to parse it as a user. And we'll see how that works in a minute. So my retrieve, my notes say retrieve user, but so the user's name should be Fred. Okay, so there's our retrieve data. We need to find another helper method there, which was retrieve. We need to go down and find that guy. Say retrieving the user given a URI, location, because that's what location is. You get a location out of a response with Jersey. It's a URI identifier, REST identifier. That's what we're talking about here. Now I need a client again. So I need this. It turns out that this is actually kind of a heavyweight process. Client creation is not the simplest thing in the world. So it's a good candidate to share among all our tests. So I'm going to take it, move it up here, tell Spock that it's shared. And now it'll only be created once for all tests. The Jersey clients are thread safe and immutable and all that good stuff, so we can share as much as we want. So now my client's ready for me. I can just say resource.path. Nope, not .path. We have a URI. That URI. Location. So go to this URI and tell it I want to get back JSON. Stick with JSON. I like it. And do it again. Because we're doing a retrieve, doing it again is how you get data back, obviously. And get the client response. Again, so that I can do some assertions on it. Status and all that stuff. Alright. Before we go further and forget about it, we should now look at how the user is going to be retrieved and how the Jersey client is going to automatically understand how to get a Jersey out of a response. That getEntity is really awesome and magical. Right there. And it works based on kind of a plug-in model that Jersey has. It's you plug in your own strategy for marshalling and unmarshalling POSIX, basically. Now, Jersey comes with JAX-B out of the box installed. JAX-B is the Java API for XML binding. And if you have a valid JAX-B annotated class, Jersey can just auto-magically marshal and everything. So what we want to do is go over to our user and make it a valid JAX-B class. So we can do that. Now it's all happening. JAX-B, we can send and receive users all day long. So the marshalling and unmarshalling will be forever happy. Now, it does say XML, and I did say JSON. And this is JAX-B, which is the Java API for XML binding. But in a wonderful example of technology bastardization, the guys wrote this great XML library. Somebody else came along and said, hey, that's great, but I want JSON. And so instead of doing their own thing, they tacked some JSON on the back end, and everything in the API still says XML, but it all works in JSON too. So there we go. We get XML and JSON, and it's just a little weird. So now we have the first couple of tests. Now users can be retrieved, and we can also say that retrieving non-existent users is an error of some kind. They return not found. So that when I grab the response from doing a retrieve with some user that doesn't exist, and the response status, everybody knows 404, right? That's one of the things that the web at large has been good for. Now, our existing retrieve method won't work for this because we said retrieve a string, whereas before we said retrieve a location. So we're going to go ahead and just overload that method to retrieve users by name. And if you remember the identifiers that we said we were going to use, we'll use path user. Okay, we'll use users. Sure. I usually use singular. Users, name. So JSON, get the response. Okay, what else can we do with users? Let's run through this step for you. We got delete and then update. We do updating the user feed. Given some user exists, and we'll create old user Bob again. We have a Bob. Then when I do an update of Bob, using his name, we're protecting his name, addressing his name. We send another user, which is, we'll say Bob again, so we don't have to mess with the whole nastiness of identity changing. But we'll give him a role. We'll give Bob a role, and that'll be our update. Update Bob randomness with role admin. The result of that should be, make it 204, make it easy on ourselves. 204 is HTTP for no content. It says, yes, I did what you said, but I have nothing to tell you as a result, just that it worked. And in addition, when we go and get that user next time, cool. There's our update. Delete, pretty simple as well. Same precondition update. Say, given this guy exists, delete him. I get 204. No content. Works, but don't have anything to tell you. And when I go to retrieve him, get a 404. Could we follow some more? A couple more helper methods to fill in real quick, like we do an update, we give it a username and a new user, fill in, and we say, given our resource, we go to the path user/username. We will send the new user as the entity of the request. got to give it a representation when you send something. Sometimes it makes a type of stuff. Got to think about that. The type of this request is application JSON. And an update is a post. And we want to let's make our update happy and delete. Normally have to send anything to delete. Tell us the identifier and what it is you want to get rid of. That's all.